Hey, welcome back to the Wheel Friends podcast. I'm your host, Craig Richards. Today is September 27th, 2017. Finally, a really nice day in Grand Rapids, Michigan. The past 4 or 5 days, it sort of felt like standing in front of Satan as he exhaled hot air into your face. It was like 90 degrees. It would have been nice 2 months ago, but this late in September, it was not welcome at all. Last Monday, however, my friend Lewis came over. Lewis is fairly new to the bike community, so he didn't have quite the well of knowledge that some of my other guests have had. So he came to the show overly prepared, to say the least.
Well, I've got a fair amount of notes here to work with because I had enough coffee in me to where like I was concentrating, but not on the right thing. Like I have work that I should be doing, and I'm like, oh no, I'm so like Googling my way through all these articles. I'm like, things to add on a bike, because I like don't bike often, or like I'm not considered to be like, you don't look at me and be like, oh, I see him biking all the time. Like I just started, and even like saying that I've been biking since blah blah blah. So like hitting me with a question like accessories to add on a bike. Like I can't I don't have a recess of knowledge to be like, oh, when I went on this bike trip, like a lot of your guests are like, oh, I biked across Mackinac Island, or like, oh, I was in Tennessee doing these hills, and I'm like, yeah, sometimes I go on the Wednesday night ride, and sometimes I would go to Fan Pan and get myself a case of alcohol, and then like regret because I don't have a basket, I don't have like any sort of carrying, I don't have the means. Like I just like throw the backpack on, and then like, so I did a fair amount of research. I feel like I've got a couple things I can bring to the table.
You're probably the most prepared guest I've ever had.
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask, I'm pretty sure you're fairly new to the bike scene in general. You came with Alex Yee, and then I don't see him anymore. But
true, he kind of vanished because he brought me in first to Polo, and he was like, check this out, and I was like, wow, I'll never do that. It's horrifying. So that's how I started getting more active into the bike scene. And then Yi was just like, well, there's a Wednesday night ride too. And so like he brought me out to one of those, and then like never showed up again to another one. And then like I just kept going.
So he brought you in Wednesday evening rides. You've been pretty casual then up until this point in your life. It was basic down the street every now and then.
It was like a bike was a bike. Like it was just like I biked to work a lot. It was never looking at other people's bikes and be like, damn, that's a good looking bike. Appreciating them, like knowing the different components. Like I couldn't fix a flat if I had to. You
tipped into lifestyle biking.
So the Wednesday night rides led into like, oh, well, I should get a more dependable bike. And so like going out to Spoke folks and then meeting all those great people, just learning about what makes a bike, what makes a good bike versus like just the beater that I used to ride to and from work back in the day before the license day. Very new to the bike scene, and it's very, I don't know, it sucks you in. Actually, my first cameo for the show was the Polo episode with Avery. You can hear my brakes screaming in the background. That was the Jenny's old bike that I built at Spoke Folks.
That's right, you were there that day.
Yeah, and like I was like listening in, and I just heard like just terrible screeching in the back. I'm like, holy shit, like that's me. Like how
I know that sound.
I know that sound. That it was fucking awful. Like that bike.
Are you still on that Polo rig?
I am not, but it did push me to like want to get a better bike. The All City. What is it called?
And that's just for Polo?
That's just for Polo, yeah. It's been thrown
to the point of Polo where that's your only...
That's it, yeah. So like I used to bring both of them, so I'd have one as a backup for people to try. I'm like, I just feel bad for like introducing them to this. Like I'm very new into it, and I'm like, here, yeah, try it out on this bike. And like they go to break, and it's just screeching, and then it doesn't really break well. It's like the dual lever or whatever it's called.
Dual pole brakes?
Dual pole brakes, yes. As you can see, still new into biking. All the terminology still pretty new.
It's a slow drip, like picking up bike terms. With me, when I first started getting into biking, it was like it was 2012. I was in Holland, Michigan. I was working at a Target at 4 a.m, and I would bike there, and I would stop at IHOP and hang out for 4 hours. I'd go to IHOP at midnight, and so that's when
every shift you would go to IHOP and you'd hang out for 4 hours beforehand?
Yeah, before every shift.
Wow.
Because I worked 4 to 8 a.m. unloading the trucks.
Oh, okay.
And or I'd work additionally 8 to 12 putting their bikes together.
So they would get shipments of bikes and they would just be like slap chopping them out.
Because I knew what I was doing because I had dove so deep into this bike research. So I bought every book I could. This is a job for voiceover, Craig, but we'll say Robert Patterson. It was a book called It's All About the Bike, which is in direct response to Lance Armstrong's biography at the time or something. It was called It's Not About the Bike. And so It's All About the Bike is the history of every single individual bicycle component from start to finish. And then it's actually available as, you can watch a documentary based on the book. It sort of coincides with it. It's on YouTube called The Ride of My Life. And I think it's Robert Penn, now that I'm thinking of it. It goes through most of it. The book is much better because it's like, here's the history of ball bearing.
The books are always better, though, so it's like...
And I got some that seemed like they came out in the early 2000s Portland DIY scene, and they're all just like commuting by bicycle. So it taught me a lot about how to like improvise your bike back together, and it opened my eyes a lot to the customizability of bicycling.
True.
And like ever since that point, like I haven't wanted a normal looking bike. I like them
because your bike, that is your bike, and like people will recognize it. Like it's unique.
Yeah.
You've got like the mosaic lights on your bike.
Yeah, dude, those lights are so sweet.
Beautiful. Where did you get them?
Can
you let that is that a secret? Is that not supposed to be?
I don't encourage purchasing bike components off Amazon.
Okay.
However, they got me.
They got you on the sticker front too, so like.
Yeah. Well, stickers on Amazon, it's not like there's a local sticker shop that doesn't deserve my business, but like Freewheeler Bike Shop is definitely 6 blocks away. No, it was like I was getting ready to check out or something, and I saw it, and like, you might like this product, because
of course you would. Big data.
Yeah, big data. I'm kind of okay with targeted marketing, because it's like, oh yeah, give me exactly what I want, please.
Jeez, guy.
Yeah. But I had been looking up EL ribbon, because what I really want to do is I want to get another track bike frame like that one, aluminum, because it's got a bigger down tube, so it's a little more visible. But then I want to Tron it out, and I want to put electroluminescent ribbon. Or
that's a thing?
Well, I don't remember what EL stands for. Man.
Let's go for electroluminescent.
Yeah. So there's EL cords, which is what you see a lot of, just like the stranding.
Yeah.
But you can also get an EL ribbon, so it's flatter. So
you have like text going across. Is it like pixelated, or is it just one?
It's just like a solid color.
Okay.
So it's super Tron-like, but I think white lights up in the front of the fork and red lights in the rear, and the chain stays and the seat stays. It'll look dope.
Yeah, mount a speaker on it, and then have like a Raspberry Pi that like will play random synthwave wherever you go. Depending on the speed, it'll pick up some RPMs and play some synthwave.
I know a couple engineers that might be willing to help with a weekend project. Customizing your bike is the effing coolest. I think it helps theft-proof it a little bit too.
True.
Because, I mean, if you look at my bikes, they either look like garbage or they look
you got trash bikes,
so unique.
And you got your bikes.
Yeah. I mean, like I've got... Here's the advantage of my basement. I can point it to you, but we'll have to paint a word picture for the audience.
Oh.
It's green. It's sticker bombed. It's got.
It is not just green. It is violently green.
Offensively green, actually.
It's pissing off my eyes right
now. With hot pink wheels, and then I covered it with like a bunch of cartoony stickers, and so like that bike is so unequivocally Craig's that like. If you want to steal it, you're gonna
go for it. You're gonna have to
selling it. You're gonna have to take it out of town. Although I have heard of that.
Really?
People coming from like across
Farther
the
away.
state, snatching a bunch of bikes and then selling them back where they're from.
Well, that's just smart. You're gonna steal a bike. Do it right, okay?
I suppose so.
Let's see here. You brought up the topic of accessories. As a person newer to the bike scene, what would you recommend, or like, what are your must-haves for a bike? Like, you got yourself a nice bike. You want to ride that puppy around. What are the needs?
I'm gonna put on a bottle cage because I need to transport a beverage. If I'm Joe Schmo commuter, hold on. Who's this person I'm building a bike for?
Okay, his name's Mike. All right. Mike's an all right guy. He's traveling about, say, 6 miles to work, 6 miles back.
What's he do for a living?
Works in a factory, a foam injection factory specializing in glassware. His aunt died recently from a foam injection related incident.
So that's weighing heavily on him, I'm
It's
sure.
weighing heavily. It was his fault because he recommended to his boss that he should, hire her in because her husband recently passed away too from colon cancer. So he needs a good bike is what I'm getting at here, right? He's had a rough time this past couple months.
Yeah. What's the shower situation at his workplace like?
No shower, but he has a foot
then.
basin and a sink out back. It doesn't belong to the company, but the neighbor who owns the land that it's in, that the sink resides on, lets them use it. So he has at least foot rinse and hand rinse, but he can't shower completely.
Okay, check this out. What Mike needs. 6
Okay.
miles. 6 miles is, ooh boy, that's a half-hour commute if he's just casually riding.
Well,
so
it's
he's
downhill at
so
least on the way to the factory.
I'm putting him downhill on the way.
Yeah.
I mean, it can still get hot, so I'm gonna put him on a 3-speed bicycle.
Okay.
Number one, because the extra gears, you don't need all 21 or whatever.
Right.
With the history of bicycling, those components were made for racing. So each one of those extra gears, was made for a specific purpose that doesn't necessarily translate well into city life.
Okay.
So a normal commuter can probably get by with 1 gear in the front, 3 in the back, just your basic 3-speed bicycle. It'll cover hills, it'll cover flatland, it'll cover everything. You don't need it if you're not a racer. And that's one of the things I wish people were more aware of. So boom, 3-speed bicycle.
Boom.
We don't know if it's ever going to rain. Mike Boy is going to need does he live in Arizona or does he live in Michigan or does he live in Portland?
He lives on the southeast corner of Minnesota.
Southeast Minnesota. Okay, so there's a good chance it's going to rain. I don't have a world map. I don't have a map of the United States. I'm not that much of a patriot,
right,
I guess.
Yeah. Let's say it's going to rain sometimes.
Okay, well then we're going to put some fenders on this bad boy because you're going to get twice as wet if you do not have fenders. So fenders make sense on a commuter bicycle. 3-speed, fenders, basket.
Boom.
Dunk.
Lights. Now I saw online.
Lights, if he can do well enough, a dynamo to help charge those lights, or an internal hub that will actually upgrade. It's an internal hub 3-speed bicycle, and that way he never has to worry about getting that derailleur broken. It'll last a lot longer. It'll survive the winter. So internal hub gear,
Okay.
fenders, basket, dynamo, or recharging hubs so keep his lights charged. And then, here's what he needs to do. He should never bike in his work clothes.
Really?
I don't, but I sit in an office by myself. So here's what you do. You bike in shorts because you don't necessarily need spandex. If you want to have a change of underwear, go ahead. You can put it in your basket, Mike. But you should definitely have a stash of baby wipes. Oh, you just leave those at work.
He doesn't even need to use the foot basin provided by his factory.
Oh yeah, I cut it out of the narrative. It's not necessary. Well, he can't. He can put his. He can do his armpits. Get a little gooch action in there. Clean up his knee elbows or his knee
armpits. Yeah, which are probably the stinkiest part of the leg.
Yeah.
Dependent
if
on
I
your
had to
gland.
guess.
Do they have to be marketed as baby wipes, or can they just be wipes? Would they be like a moist?
They're human wipes. Just don't flush
Human
them.
wipes.
Here's the icing on the cake of Mike's commuter life. It is called dry shampoo.
I have used this before.
I keep some in my office at work. So I can come in. I just baby wipe, dry shampoo, change my clothes.
You're a lazy person on the go. All right.
Not lazy.
Okay,
the ambitious person.
The ambitious person who doesn't want to be held down with frequent showering, especially if you're biking everywhere.
Checklist. Mike is a commuter. Boom.
Boom.
6 miles. Boom. Perfect commuter bike. Boom. Ready for rain. Boom.
Boom.
Ready to shower. Boom. Even though he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
I think I nailed it.
You nailed it.
What happened to your other bike?
Which other bike?
The one that your more casual bicycle.
Oh, the old. Like the vintage road bike.
Yeah. Did your spokes explode? What happened there?
So I rode it to a conference downtown, and I parked it out front of the Starbucks by that hotel.
The
Amway. Why am
Plaza.
I forgetting it? The fucking Amway. So went to the conference, left it there all day, not thinking that someone would absolutely destroy my rear wheel. And, like, I don't know what happened to it. Like, I didn't notice it until that ride. And I just went out back to my bike and was like, oh, my bell's kind of weird. Get a bell. And no, just kept on going. And then on the Wednesday night ride, it sounded like I had a paper card in my spokes. And I was like, that's not my thing. And it was like someone kicked it in or, like, hit it with their bike and it fell over and people just kind of walked over it. I don't know. I tried to ride it again yesterday, actually, and it got worse, as you could imagine. Yeah. Having spokes bent around.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm afraid of because, like, I know a lot about bike repair, but I struggle with spoke stuff. Yeah, that's like one I know. If I'm out somewhere and my spokes go like wonky, I know that I can twist up the loose spoke around the other spokes to just keep it in place. That works for one. I don't know what to do if it's multiple. Like if somebody kicks the shit out of my bike.
Yeah, we're missing about 8. So it's not rideable per se. It's not rideable. I shouldn't be riding it. You can hear the rim hit the brakes. It wobbles them.
You're just going to take that wheel off, carabiner it to a backpack, and bike on down to your local co-op spoke folks and
get
that looked at. Let them figure out your situation. Although I got like 5 wheels sitting over there, so maybe I got something. Well, one of those Dustin kept bending because Dustin's a big boy. He rode a BMX bike when he was younger a lot, and so transitioning to a road bike as a burly muscular man.
It's a big transition.
Yeah. Oh, and those poor little wheels didn't stand a chance.
They had no idea what was coming.
Yeah. So I got those. Sorry, Dustin. All right. So now we're going to the collective internet mailbag of Yahoo. Because I feel like this question is you're qualified enough.
Okay.
So this question comes from a person, I didn't look up their name, but it looks like the logo for Arsenal Soccer. So what do you want to name this person? Unless it's an actual Arsenal, it sounds like a soccer thing.
That is his logo. Okay, this guy is definitely like a Theodore, but goes by Teddy.
Teddy asked the internet, what gadgets should I get for my bike? So far, I got world's loudest horn / bell. I don't know how that works. And world's strongest bike lock. So that's telling me a lot about how we should be answering these questions.
The world's blankiest blank is kind of the items he buys.
Yeah. I'm waiting for my Bluetooth, the bluest tooth, bike speaker to arrive in the post. Okay. Arsenal, I think, is a British soccer team, and that gives away that Teddy's a Brit.
So his name is definitely Theodore.
Yeah, definitely Theodore. I don't think I'm going to do a British accent.
Okay.
Now's not the time.
Now's not the time.
I definitely wish God, now I feel like I have to. I'm waiting for my Bluetooth bike speaker to arrive in the post.
It came in the post. The past morning.
I'm Theodore, and I just purchased the world's loudest bike horn with bell and the world's strongest bike lock. I'm waiting for my Bluetooth. Nope, we're going Australian.
Damn it.
And we're done. I don't know what else I should put on to make my bike even more fun to ride. So what accessories are going to help Theodore, the British man, put on his bicycle?
Well, he needs to get
the bluest of tooth
he has
speakers.
The bluest tooth, so he needs to get the brightest light. He should get a floodlight that will be mounted on the front and back of his bike.
Yeah.
Because he already has the loudest horn, which, how do you measure that? Oh, okay, decibels. So, like...
that one was easy.
Okay, yeah. What I was getting at is how do you, like, sell your product as this is the loudest one? Like, just comparing, like, how, like, legally can you make a horn as loud as, like, a jet and being like, oh... It was just a funny little
the loudest bike horn is a pretty low bar because, I mean, like, your average bike horn is something somebody got from, like, the bike shop.
Okay.
So
it's not like an
so
air
it could be
compressor,
yeah, because that's extra weight.
Okay.
Although it sounds like when you're putting the world's strongest bike lock and the world's loudest horn / bell, it sounds like weight isn't an issue. And so that's the approach I'm coming at this with. So you think brightest lights.
Brightest light.
How do we guarantee it's the brightest? Number one.
Lumens.
The most lights.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Just a stupid amount of light. Everywhere that you can attach a light, you attach a light.
I actually know exactly how to do this one because I've seen it on YouTube. The Seth Spike Hacks man, Seth did it, where he went to a website called Alibaba.com, which is for importing stuff from China, and he bought blinking lights at about 90 cents a unit, and you have to buy 100 units. So he paid about $90 to get 100 blinking bicycle lights. So
Wow. Did he have them just in one giant line?
yeah, he put them all on his fork and his bars.
Wow.
So
Now,
I mean,
how bright were each light?
it didn't illuminate the space very well, but the bike was definitely bright. It didn't. I don't think it helped him see where he was going very.
But it looked.
But it was bright in a
Great.
concentric. It was like, yeah, it was wicked bright. So like you're gonna need probably 3 times as many to do the rest of the frame, and then you're gonna want some reds just for the rear. So enough red that when you're looking at it from behind, it's just bright red.
It's just a wall of red that you see.
And now while you're also going to need probably a suit that also lights up. So I mean, if he's going all in for gadgetry, why not some wearable tech? So
Yeah.
he's got like the jacket that lights up and maybe does some turn signaling for him.
There you go. Some flashers.
And then there's actually here's your tech gadget. Is there's
Okay.
a jacket that I want to say Levi's made. Somebody collaborated with this stupid expensive jacket, which nobody could even afford to buy. But basically, the entire thing is Bluetooth. So you can like
Each part of the jacket
Yeah,
is a
it was-
different Bluetooth component.
like you swipe up on the sleeve to change the song or
Oh,
whatever,
my
and so it like
goodness.
and they had a guy biking in the commercial. This is geared toward our people.
You know what these bikers are going to love? This Bluetooth jacket.
I know we're trying to help a person right now, but I am a little furious at the. Yeah, you got me right on pissed now.
Thanks, Teddy.
If you look at like the Levi's commuter brand, it's really cool clothing, except it is wicked expensive. And I get what they're trying to do, and I know that bicycling is an investment already, but like
Don't make it even more an investment that isn't
Hey,
even towards the bicycle.
I love my bike. So what makes you think I can afford $100 pants? Like
I'm biking to work for a reason, damn it.
like PacSun barely gets away with $60 pants. What are you doing?
They do 2 for $55, all right, and that is pushing it.
So I'm not spending $100 for a pair of pants that are just wicking. Like, come on, Levi's, how dumb do you think I am?
You're not tricking me twice.
$200 for a jacket? Are you bonkers?
At least put some lights on it. Or is it Levi's that has the jacket?
I'll have
the
to
Bluetooth jacket.
I'll have to look it up later.
Okay.
But I think we're at the end of that thread. Back to Teddy.
I want to say a smaller bike for his bike, in case his main bike breaks while on the go.
Yeah, he's a maximalist. So
Yeah.
you're right. What he needs, because he's a gadget guy, he needs a trailer to haul a backup bicycle in case his bicycle goes awry.
Actually, just a full bike that has trainer wheels on it that he has attached to the back of his bike, and it just rolls behind him wherever he goes.
Ooh, actually, we're pivoting again. There's a weird subculture in Japan. I shouldn't say weird. There's a subculture in Japan.
That's weird.
It's not a weird subculture. It's a totally fucking awesome culture. I saw a lot of T-shirts and posters and stuff in the 90s that had like semi-trucks on them, and they're big and they're bright. And so that became like a popular thing to do in Japan, was to gussy out your truck so it was bright and shiny and chrome and covered with light bulbs, basically making it into a damn Gundam. Subculture of that subculture.
Oh.
People did that to bicycles. So they drive these bicycles that are ridiculous, boxy, chrome mammoths.
The most extra bike
Yeah.
you could create.
It's not even like a sane amount of extra. Like it's like extra seems to have a little bit of like a glam thing going on. This is more in the rad territory. Like extra and rad are very similar, but one runs
They're
on explosions.
different sort of objects.
Yeah. They're in the same family, but no.
So was there a limit to how much? There probably wasn't an upper bound, but was there like your bike isn't as cool because it has all this stuff because it's no longer functional. Could they still ride these bikes around? Or
Oh,
was
they
it
could
just
still
like,
ride them.
Okay, so it would be not as cool if you like tricked it out in the wildest way, but you couldn't ride it. Like that doesn't count.
We should bring that over here.
Yeah, it's still going on today.
If in Craig's if the Wheel Friends Museum of Bicycles were real, it would feature a room of these bicycles, at least 3, because I think that's all you can fit in a room. Because
How big of a room?
they're mammoths.
What are they called? Well, I want to see a picture of one of these bikes.
This one looks like a goddamn freight train.
This is the coolest thing I've seen. Wow. It is a Gundam bike. This photo here. There are stadium lights mounted on top of this chrome custom metal structure. It kind of looks like
An
a
RV
wheelchair.
camper.
An RV camper.
But on a bicycle. It's like if you took a pedicab, whatever that like fiberglass material, it's probably fiberglass, and just built this giant RV
Don't
around a
assume it's
bicycle.
metal. But it's probably fiberglass.
So he could go that way. Now the thing is, when I hear gadgets, I actually think tech.
Yeah.
So for our boy Theodore, let's say Theodore, he's British. Oh my God. Everything, shake the Etch-a-Sketch.
Okay.
Fuck everything we had.
Reset.
This is a hip, sexy British man.
Mm.
Teddy is worldly. He's cultured. He's basically James Bond, but
You've got me hooked already.
yeah,
all right.
he's
I've got
a
this
James
picture
Bond type, and he's
Yeah.
definitely into that Corbin fellow over there.
And he definitely has an American Express card.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Classy guy.
He's the kind of guy who could star in a Lincoln commercial.
So he's got at least as much class.
So he
as
needs
McConaughey.
the gadgets he wants. He's getting the strongest bike lock, but it's going to be the one that is the lightest and the loudest horn. So he's
But
probably got
also the
he's probably
nicest
got
voice.
he's probably got like more of an electronic horn going on, so he can switch. So this is a tech man.
Does he have an electronic bike then?
No.
Okay, so I saw some anger in your eyes.
No,
Do you have
no,
something
no, you
against
didn't. No,
e-bikes?
all bikes are good bikes. What are you talking about? Don't out me on my on my show for hating e-bikes.
So it is not. It's definitely not an e-bike that he has.
No, I think I'm gonna blow your mind right now.
Okay, I'm
Because
ready.
there's this handlebar by a company. I believe it's called the Helios bar, and it is you connect your phone to it via Bluetooth. It does GPS tracking. You never have to lock up your bike. If you enter your route ahead of time, it'll do the turn signals for you, and it lights up at the end of the bars to signal different directions, and it has the headlight built into it. Is this something Theodore puts on his bicycle, yes or no?
This is everything that Theodore puts on his bike. Wow,
That is extra.
that is.
That is wicked extra. It's not my bag necessarily, unless I was intentionally trying to it's something I would put on the Tron bike for sure.
Yeah, 'cause
if
it
I was
fits.
trying to make an expensive bike just to flip an expensive bike that was really cool, it would go on there because I think it's a $200 handlebar, which
Just the handlebars.
I know people are willing to pay that for a carbon fiber bar already, so it's not that much of a
Out
stretch.
The scope
However,
of people's purchases.
I am not one of those people.
Tron biked out, or we're not gonna go Tron for Teddy. All right?
Yeah, that's
because,
mine.
Yeah, okay. Because
Fuck
you're
off,
not
Teddy.
Yeah, don't stomp on his ground. All right?
You're elegant. I'm cool.
okay.
Stay in your lane.
Know your class, Teddy. Oh, how about this? So he has this fancied up bike, Bluetooth, everything. Go back to the trailer bike. He can have one of those Japanese mecha bikes that he trails around. That's his spare bike that he can have. Because then
He's got a choo-choo train of bicycles that are all different and all hitched together, and he doesn't let anybody share.
no.
You know what? Forget Teddy.
Yeah. Sorry, Ted. You're out there somewhere. What if we're like dead on though, and he's just like, holy shit, these people like know who I am? Or what if he just said post because he's just like the people who will randomly talk in a British accent when you approach them because they're like super nervous all the time, like oh telly ho. Like I don't want to say like necessarily neckbeards in general, but like what if he's not British? What if we're pinning the wrong guy?
Let's not try and alienate a marketable audience.
Yeah, all right. What if Teddy isn't
God
British?
knows I'm never doing a British impression again. You have no idea how mad at myself I'm going to be when I'm editing this later, and I have to listen to that British voice I did. You know what, though? I think we've definitely helped Teddy. All right, so now I have some notes. So that smart jacket is made by Levi's and Google, and apparently they just announced the price at $350, which I still think is insane. It's a trucker-style denim jacket that does have some cool features. The shoulder hem is stretchy and articulated, so you won't feel stiff in that denim when you're trying to signal your directions. The back of the jacket runs a little longer, so as you're riding, your butt crack never hangs out, which is very considerate. It has some reflective piping by 3M, so there's additional visibility. Those are really great, considerate features, but in my opinion, I don't think they should drive up the price of commuter clothing that high. Levi's does sell the jacket alone for $150, so there's no tech stuff. So the tech stuff is Google's end, and they call it Jacquard, Jacquard. I really don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm not going to say it anymore. But it seems to be just the gesture control that's in the touch sleeve. You have to pair it with your phone, so if you want speaker control, you're going to need a phone that can connect to 2 Bluetooth devices, which probably isn't a problem if you have an iPhone or a Samsung. Otherwise, music control only goes to headphones, which I don't recommend riding. At the very least, and if you are going to ride with headphones on, at least pop out the left ear so you can hear stuff. Personally, I ride with the Boombotics Pro speaker that clips to my belt or my hip bag. It's got large buttons on it that I can easily find without looking at it. My other criticism with it comes from its ability to give directions. I know where I'm going usually, and I'm never in so much of a hurry that I can't just pull over on the side of the road and look at my phone. So maybe I'm not the target audience, but I'm still having a hard time figuring out who is, because I just don't really see this being a product we needed. Even if you look at like the bike messengers, even if you look at bike messengers who work in larger cities, they do probably use GPS, but they're going fast because they want to make their delivery. And I don't know how many months out of the year they can get away with wearing a $350 jean jacket. Also, I don't know if bike messengers are the type to spend $350 on a jean jacket, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's something somebody in Silicon Valley will go for, but I just don't see it working in Michigan. I would say your best bet is just to go to Jo-Ann Fabric and pick up that 3M piping yourself and sew it on the back of your jacket. Now, the Japanese truck trend actually started in the 60s when trucking was a popular career in Japan during their post-war economic boom. The trucks were called Dekotora, which is basically decoration truck. The bikes are called Dekochari. I think that's how it's pronounced. Please forgive me if I'm wrong. And now that that's over with, we are officially done with the Wheel Friends. Thank you for listening. Thanks to Lewis for being on the show. Totally awesome. And our final reminder, September 29th through October 1st, is Ladies Army 9 in Grand Rapids, Michigan, the International Bike Polo Tournament. That is only 2 days away. So I'm super excited about that. I'm going to try and get my mic out there, so that'll be sweet. Make sure you go to ladiesarmy9.com. While we're talking about the weekend and international things, September 30th is International Podcast Day, a day where people celebrate the power of podcasting. If you're wondering how you can celebrate, maybe consider sharing the show you like. If you want to see that jacket or some Dekotora, I'd recommend checking out our Facebook page at some point this week, and you can follow us on any other social media as well. For any other inquiries, you can shoot an email to wheelfriendspodcast@gmail.com. Thanks again for listening, and as always, go ride your bike.